3, 2, 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have one of our repeat offenders. He's a very, very fun guest. We've had him on the show before. Jerry Chatelain is here with E4 Comics, and he's going to be talking about The Elements, ISIS Saga Part 2.
Right.
So we're going to be talking to him, and we're also going to be talking about the importance of vending or tabling at shows.
Word.
Even though it can be very frustrating. We were just talking about that before we came on. So that's what's on the show tonight, kid.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze.
Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man, Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, July 16th. What up, KC? What up, Hugo? We see you. Wednesday. Interesting. Yeah.
Wednesday.
It's another exciting episode here.
Someone's having some tequila.
Tuesday evening, and we're gonna have a good show for you guys. As you heard in the soft open, we have a returning guest, somebody who's been here twice before. Last year was the last time he was here. If you want to look him up, episode 473 is where you will find him.
473.
And that is, I know, and that is Mr. Jerry Chatelain, who will be with us in just a few minutes.
Word.
He's got a continuation of his book for Tuesday. You're not drunk, I'm drunk. I hear you, Hugo. I hear you. But yeah, no, we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Nice.
It's gonna be good. And we're also gonna be talking about the topic for today, which is going to be the importance of tabling at cons. Some people don't like it. Some people swear by it. But we'll chat a little bit about it, and I'll tell you why I want to talk about that. Casey said I had my first con. Oh wow, a lot to be excited about. Good for you, Casey. That's what's up. Congrats, KC. Yep. Hi, everyone. Hi, Lou. Hi, Hugo. At least what's happening? So everybody's in the house. If you haven't done so yet and you're in the chat, hit the like button. If you want, share the video so that people know that we're here and they want to check it out. Do all that fun stuff. Subscribe, which is very important. We're almost at about 2K, bro. 2K followers, subscribers. So it's free. So please make sure you do that. But yeah, man, what's going on, Sammy? How you feeling? We both have conventions this weekend. So you ready?
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I'll let the others call me Eddie, but for you especially, because I said so spaghetti. Remember that? I'm your idol, your highest title, numero uno. I am a Puerto Rican, so I'll speak it so that you know. Yeah, so tonight, the Texas Latino Comic Con this weekend. Yes, Duty is dressing up again as Rambo and El Chapulín. So it's going to be dope. So yes, so come over. I will be in the gallery room, table number 21, and we'll have that combo pack, especially for that event. So I'm excited. It's a one-day show. It's in here. It's in Texas. It's really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. It's my first time there. And then right after that, it's Bell County Comic Con. I'll be getting ready for, and that is the first week in August. And I wish I can tell you where it is. My promo. Somehow I lost it. Comic Palooza, whatever. But Bell County Comic Con, I'll be there. I'll be in Artist Alley.
Cool.
I won't be in Artist Alley. That's the one thing. So Bell County has the main big stadium, right? So it's like an arena, right? So it has these seats in the center pit. I'm not in the center pit. I'm actually at the entrance where everybody comes in.
Oh, you're greeting everybody. You're like the host.
What's up, Gilly?
Gilbert, in a minute. What up, Gil?
So I saw the layout. So I'm at the curve. So where everybody comes in, I'm like right in front of where they get their tickets or their badges and all that stuff.
Nice.
I don't know how that's gonna work. It's the first time I've been in the lobby. It's like the lobby basically. So I'm gonna have to hustle in that lobby. So it's just like the Texas Latino Comic Con. I'm in the gallery room, which is not in the main pit. So that's also gonna. I don't know, well, yo, how they do a brother like that, bro? But whatever. I'm gonna make it work, right? They put us in the back, right? They said, nah, man, you're too extra. So we'll see how it plays out. It's gonna be dope, though.
So Casey, look at that. Okay.
I was right in line with the door. It helped. All right.
So it means that I got it made. It means that I got it made.
That's right.
Special said.
Yeah,
Love the reference. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Good stuff. Yeah, man. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Word.
And is that check that? I can't wait for that book to come out. I say it every time it comes on.
And then you have a show this weekend as well, don't you?
Dog, I'm at Plastic City Comic Con, Leominster, Massachusetts. I'll be taking a little road trip with my friend Jonathan Syfax. He's going to be rolling with me. We're going to be there for the day, July 20th. Everybody, the admission is $10, and kids 12 and under get in for free. Make sure you go check it out. I will have my Russ 5377 25th anniversary edition book there. I'll have Wonder Duck, my The Florian Takeover Part 1, which is another graphic novel. I'll have a couple of issue number 1s of Russ in case you guys wanted to check it out. I also have digital copies of issue number 1 in the form of a card. I'm doing trading cards, but the trading card is going to have a little QR code in the back, which will take you right into the digital version of the comic. So that way you have a card and you have the comic. $10, George. Anyway, you can knock that price down a bit.
Jay's pesos.
Trying to haggle. Jesus.
Jay's pesos.
Yo, so and big shout out to Keith Gleason, who's good. Actually, Keith Gleason, he's the showrunner for the show. His wife, Amy Gleason. Okay, this is kind of cool and exciting for me. She makes puppets.
Oh.
So she last year at the show decided, hey, do you want me to make a puppet of Wonder Duck?
Oh, nice. So
apparently she's finished it, and I'm picking it up at the show this weekend.
Oh,
so I'm very excited about that. I'll be posting pictures. She sent me a video of it, you know what I'm saying, of the puppet. As she's finishing it up, she's putting the final little things on his costume and stuff.
Yeah,
it looks really dope. I'm very excited. I love puppets.
What's up, Johnny?
But yeah, man. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah, Johnny's in the audience. What up, Johnny? Yeah, man. So I can't wait. We're going to be leaving at 2 p.m. from New York because it's like a 3-hour drive out there. So that's going to be fun. Road trips are always a good time with Johnny.
I love road trips.
So that's going to be cool. Not a marionette. It's an actual hand puppet. It's actually a hand puppet. So yeah, that's going to be good, man. It's going to be exciting. And then in August, I'll be at Wicked Comic Con. And if you guys are in Boston, in the Boston area, if you're in the East Coast and you want to go to Wicked Comic Con, if you haven't gotten tickets yet, before checkout, when you go get your tickets, before the checkout, type in promo code Get Your Meds, just like you see underneath my name there, but without the little dashes underneath. Make sure that you type in Get Your Meds, and you're gonna get a 10% discount. So if you're going to Wicked Comic Con and you want tickets for the show, at checkout, promo code Get Your Meds, and you're gonna get a 10% discount for Wicked Comic Con August 10th and 11th.
Word.
So that's what's going on. I'll be at Baltimore in September, and then at New York Comic Con in October. But we'll talk about those in the next few weeks or in the next few months, because the year is going.
It's going. It's crazy because in a week after next, for work, I'll be traveling. So I'll be in San Antonio, I'll be in St. Louis. And then in the fall, I got 3 conventions, plus I'm traveling for work internationally again. It's like on the road constantly, bang, 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 and trying to get work done in between. It's like it's like a mile. It's a big gamble, but making it work, making it happen. I mean, I'm excited. I'm getting a lot of, I'm building the following on social media for the art, which is really cool. So Duty's being reposted, retweeted, shared constantly. So pretty dope. That means, people are taking a liking to the work. So shout out to that. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And again, I did want to say a shout out to Texas Latino Comic Con, Hector, who is the promoter for that event, and all the events that I'm going to attend this year, which is Bell County, which is Cowtown Comic Con, which is Denton Comic Art Expo, and College Station. Every single one of the promoters have been reposting all of my posts. And that's not a standard for convention promoters, but shout out to these guys because I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, that's how you build it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's a way to get people excited and going to the show. So
yeah, man. Yeah, makes me feel a little special.
Hey, listen, man.
It's like
doing shows, going on the road. The way you pack, like you got tons of stuff.
Dude, wait till you see that. Wait till you see. So, shout out to Daphne Lage, right? So Daphne's like, hey, yo, can you do a behind the scenes on how you put everything together and the thought process behind your booth setup? And well, now because my stuff, my duffel bags got tore up, I had to get new storage cases, like really heavy duty stuff, and so it's heavier, right? So that means I've been working out every day. I have to be able to lift this stuff, man. So
so you have a little behind the curtain. You have these two what are those things?
Wagons?
Those two little wagons, right?
Yes.
One of them, I just got a wagon myself because they're easier to carry.
Yeah.
But the wagon that I have holds 350 pounds.
I got a new one that holds 500.
Okay, so that means that the one you broke, also held 350 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It snapped.
Yo, and these are paper is heavy. Because these aren't even the comics. These are the prints because you have tons of prints.
Yeah, I got prints, bro.
Yeah, you have tons of that's what's really weighing you down.
I got one bin of prints, which is the 8x8 prints. I think that's like 60 pounds.
And you know what? And what's funny about my friend Samuel here, everybody, is that he doesn't just bring 50, 100. He brings everything he's ever printed. I'm like, what the hell?
No, the problem is I have 50 different prints and I have 25 copies of each print, right? So I bring a minimum of 25 of each print, so of 50. So that in itself, and that's the 8x8. Then I got the 5x7 prints, and I bring about 25 copies of each of those to the event. So what do you say?
He said they can hold 350 pounds and 500 pounds. Giving folks a ride in the wagon is a way to make the money back.
I just bought a new wagon, which is bigger than the other wagon that I have. It's longer, right? So to support more weight.
The good thing is that these things collapse.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's not like you're carrying this wagon because you'd need a truck to go to different places.
I need a logistics team, bro. But so now I got these big, giant plastic, heavy duty plastic tubs. So I can store the stuff in. But dang, when I had to lift it, I had to make sure I bent my knees.
Dude, you know what? But the more you do shows and the more you produce content, the more you start realizing you need more stuff. You need more things to carry. And listen, it's exactly right now I'm going to be doing a show. It's a one-day show. And again, everything just piles up. These books get heavy. So I have 2 long boxes that I'm going to be bringing with me. And I'm gonna have, and then the props, obviously, and all that stuff. But that stuff is heavy, bro. Yeah. Like it does get heavy. And so you think, oh man, you have too much stuff. But the reality is, once you get there, you realize. And then it's funny because you always say to say, "Damn, I forgot something."
Yeah, I always forget. Yeah.
How did you forget something, bro? You're like, oh man, I forgot.
Because I'm always setting up at the house and trying and like saying, how would this look? How would this look? How would this look? And then somehow I always forget to pack one of them.
Man.
How did
we got pictures of the first setup.
I got pictures of the first.
We got photos.
Back in the
days. We'll share those. I'll
share that on the next show, on next week's show. But it's what was I gonna say? No. But so the stuff. Well, you got to remember, I have Forbidden, I have ARG, I got There's Nothing in My Toilet, there's Cast the Crazies. Those are the books, and I have the coloring book, right? And then I have the guidebooks and the kids' books. So I got all those books. I got one big giant suitcase which is table props. It's displays.
Yeah, right. It's just display. And those things, again, those things get heavy.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? They do get heavy. But listen, we're talking about conventions and setting up at conventions. Why don't we talk a little bit about the importance of these things? And then we have a sponsor for the show today, so we can always go to the sponsor after that. But I want to talk a little bit about why the topic.
Yes.
time for your medicine.
The importance of tabling at shows despite how frustrating the experience can be. Tell us more, George Medina.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the intro. Well, so the topic came about. All right. Rewind. The sponsor of the show tonight is a young lady by the name of L.A. Cunningham. She's got a show. She's got a book called Sister Grimm. Sister Grimm is part of the ASAP Imagination, Our World. ASAP Imagination is a publisher. They have their own universe. They call it Our World. And in Our World, there's a few titles. So there's Sister Grimm. There's The Dead of Night, which I had the pleasure of actually writing an issue for. Issue number 2, 3, and 4 is what I'm writing for them. OPSEC, they have a book called Messiah. They have books called Point of Villainy, Points of Virtue. And it's a whole world. It's a whole world, okay? So I say this because in December, Lori, which is her name, she was deciding what shows to do, right? Because, these things cost money. So her and Hades, who's the president of the company, said, we're deciding, okay, what are we going to do this year? What are the shows we're going to do? And one of the shows was not even a comic book convention. It was a Christmas fair. And so she said to him, hey, this isn't a comic book show, but it gets good traffic. It's Christmas. And Hades said, you know what? People want gifts. You know what? Let's do it. And so they decided to do it. When she was at the show, a gentleman came up to the table, started looking through the books, was very impressed by them, and bought the first issue of every single book they had. Bought every single one. Said, I'll take it with me. I'll take the whole world with me. So he took it home. About a month later, Hades gets an email. And this gentleman turned out to be a professor at a university, an anthropology professor at a university. And the conversation went something like, hey, I was really impressed by your books, and not just because of the comics, but because you have a whole world you're building, a whole universe you're building. And that's very interesting to me. Do you mind if I put these books as part of the curriculum in my anthropology class? Now you're thinking, how the hell do comics and anthropology go together? Well, storytelling is where this comes together, because comic books are a way for us to tell stories and pass stories down from generation to generation. Right. So he decided to include the comics into his anthropology class, part of the curriculum. So what does the school do? What does that mean? He ordered a total of 16 different books, because that's what they have, 16 different items. And they ordered about anywhere between 15 and about 30 of each. Think about how many books that is. And it's part of the curriculum at the University of Calgary in Canada. I tell this story because had she not done that Christmas, at Christmas fair, none of that would have happened.
Yes.
So the importance of tabling at shows or doing these things isn't the money. It's not the money. If you think you're going to make money at these shows, it very rarely happens. But the amount who you can meet at the shows is what's important. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So that's why I thought we'd talk about this topic, because it's happened to us as well, right? Things like this have happened. And I know that people are sometimes get down on conventions. I don't want to do them, because it is frustrating. It isn't easy. It is hard. But the reward when something like this happens could be huge.
Yes.
It could be huge.
Yes.
Carry on, Sam. I'm sorry. I'm done. I need water.
Hold on. I got something. Keep going. I got something right here.
Oh, you got something.
I'm pulling something up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me just read some of these comments here. Lou says, I saw an ad for a suitcase table combo. Oh, I thought of Sam immediately. My con was everything. On my left, Lego. On my right, a mix of retro-themed boys, He-Man, Robo-Force. That's wild. Yeah, Hugo, that's crazy. And then I loved it.
Right, so
wait, okay, so you ready?
Yeah, just to answer your question,
yes,
there's our first table.
Oh yeah,
there's our first table. Look at those two guys. Look at those guys.
Look at the setup.
Look at the setup.
Look at the laptop. That thing's from freaking what? That's a brick. It's
That's
a brick.
that's crazy.
Uh,
That's Rush 5377
There's
and
Russ.
Cosmic Wars
There's
right
Cosmic
there.
Wars, the OGs. We had our little money thing in front of us for
Yeah.
the money. You tease that for next week.
Yes, I know, but I had to. I had
You can't
to.
help yourself.
I couldn't help myself.
I'm telling you this whole cool
Good grief,
story. And he's
somebody
like
feed
this.
those guys
He's
a
like this,
hot dog.
looking for stuff. Oh God. But yeah, man, it's wild. It's the things that can happen at one of these shows is wild, and this is why you do them. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You do them. It's not for the money. I'm telling you, it's not for the money.
No,
It's
you're
not for the
I
money.
mean,
It
I mean,
isn't.
where you're gonna make the people that really make the money at these conventions. Let's see. We got a lot of responses going on here. The
Oh,
people that,
look at JD with his Comic Streamland. Big shout out to Comic Streamland. Comic book
amazing.
Streamland.
Your goal should not just be sales. Yes, just sales based, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about it, you know, the people that are like really cashing in are the print artists that are capitalizing on what's trending and all that other stuff, or the adult content prints and all that stuff. You can see that they generate a lot of revenue. Or anime cons, right? There's a lot of anime shows where, like, you know, because that's such a real big loyal fan base, and if you get it right, and if you break into that niche market, you'll do extremely well at those events. You can't just be a regular comic guy trying to break into anime. You have to really be true to the craft and that community. But the tabling at conventions should be about exposure. It should be about feedback, right? It should be about engagement, right? Because if you're thinking that that's going to break the bank and pay the bills, you got you got another thing coming. Because most of the time it's it's a cycle. It's whatever you make, you're putting it back, right? It's just you're refueling. You're putting the coal back into the fire pit to keep that train going, so you can do the next show, the next show, the next show. Now the goal is hopefully something pops off, and the market starts, working towards your advantage. But for the conventions, it's really about networking, making connections with retailers, right? Comic shop owners, making connections with other convention promoters, making connections with other podcasters, right? Getting on their shows, right? It's just building your network, making connections with other artists. Or maybe independent filmmakers, and they're looking for storyboard artists, whatever it is. It's about broadening your reach, right?
Yeah.
And getting more readers to hopefully follow you. If you have a social media, you want to expand that, they follow you, or you drive wherever you're driving traffic towards, you want to be able to expand that. So that's basically, the whole purpose of it. If you're just looking monetarily, it's going to be a hard journey for you, unless you're sponsored by somebody where your stuff has broad reach.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's how you're going to be able to maybe make some of that money. Is like, for example, this weekend you were invited to that show, right?
Yeah.
So the cost of the table is out.
Right.
You don't have to worry about a table because you're there as a guest. Yes. So that maybe you can make some money there, but I don't know if you're staying at a hotel. I don't know if you're going there the night before.
It's one day show. I drive up, drive back.
All right, so you're saving a lot there. So there's possibilities to make something there, right? But it's about it's another way of making of reaching your fan base, right? Because people like to meet the artist.
Yes.
People like to meet. So when you go to these shows, or the writer or the creator of the book, so when you go to these shows, you also have to think about that, right? That's why you're always engaging the customer. When you're at a booth, when you're at a table, as much as you're paying for that table, the last thing you want to do is sit down and look down and look uninterested, or like you don't want to be there.
Yes.
You want to engage, because this is where you're going to build that fan base, and it is tough, dude. It is tough. Don't get me wrong. Sitting behind the table is tough.
Just like, damn, why am I here? Right?
It's a mental thing.
Yes.
It's a mental thing. Do people not like what I'm doing? Am I doing the right thing? Does this suck? Am I even, cut out for this kind of stuff? But you gotta power through all that stuff.
Yeah, power through it.
Through all of it, because
I mean,
you never know who's gonna come to your table.
You never know. I mean, think about, we talked about it on the show, the Superhero Comic Con, right? That was a painful event.
Dude,
that was a painful event for everybody.
That was nuts.
It was everybody in Artist Alley was painful, right? Except for this one guy who had these 3D mural things that he was rocking out, and he was killing it. And there's this one girl that they were the two that were just killing it, right? But everybody else was looking at each other like we're waiting for someone to ask us to dance at a prom.
The guy across from us left 2 hours early every day.
every day. No, well, how about this one girl who's fantastic anime artist, and she had an amazing, elaborate, beautiful setup. She shut down 2 days before.
Mhm.
She's like, you know what, I'm out. She said, "Me voy," right? So, but even through that,
I like that.
even with the tight booth that we had, right? We stood focused, stood in the game, made the best out of it, made the connections when we
You
had the
have to.
connections, worked on my pitch. That's a great opportunity to work on the pitch. I worked on a pitch. I worked on a pitch on this kid, and I was like, oh man, I struck out on that one. I revised my pitch and got the next one. I was like, all right,
Well,
cool.
think about all right. So there's an alien in my toilet, right? Who came to the table? A woman who happened to have a restaurant that was alien themed.
Yes.
The restaurant was alien themed. It was an Italian restaurant, and her pizzas were based on one was like the Milky Way pizza, whatever. It was milky, like it was that. So she said, "Hey, I'm gonna buy some prints, and if you want to put some of your prints or some of your stuff in the restaurant, maybe we can talk about that too."
Yes.
You know, so it's these things. My daughter came with me, and her being an anime fan was a PR boost. Yep. Not everyone can do cons. That's why teams at these events are good for some. On a side note, I always appreciate seeing Sam's inner piece when he's setting up his tables on his blogs. Is genuine and inspirational.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I mean, George even said it. Joe's like, yo, give him his space because I get into a
you
zone.
have to.
Yeah, I get into a zone when I'm
You
setting
have
up.
to.
It's like,
it's funny because like when we were there, right? We were there.
Yeah.
We were trying to. I bet the food is out of this world. We went with you, Sam. Anibal, Jonathan. And honestly, for the first whatever time, after we brought everything in, it's about leave this dude alone and let you go to work because you're setting that thing up. It's almost like setting furniture in your house, right? Feng shui. You know the best way to set it up.
Feng shui.
It's the feng shui. You know what I mean? Because you, at the end of the day, it's your money. It's your, so you want to make sure that you are doing the. Now you'll turn around and say, what do we think or whatever?
Yeah.
We'll always bounce ideas back and forth. Hey, listen, as a consumer, what am I seeing? But for the most part, that's your thing. And it should be. Just like I'm going this weekend to set up my thing, it's my thing. Everybody sets up their table or their booth the way they want to set it up.
I look at it when I'm setting up the booth. I feel like it's a blank canvas and I'm drawing again, right? That's how I feel like. It's like a work of art. I'm trying to figure out how to communicate to the customer with a static image, right? And it's like, how do I get them to draw them in? And I have fun doing it. It's probably the least stressful part. Breaking down is a pain in the butt, right? Because I'm like, oh, I gotta pack all this, right? But putting it together, I just like to just go in the zone and just have fun.
Yeah. Well, that's why and listen, the importance of going there early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like to go the day before. Like I'm going, it's a 1 day show,
always.
But I'm going Friday. Like we're driving up Friday night. It's a 3-hour drive or whatever. We're going to stay overnight, but we're going to go there. We're going to set up from set up at 7 to 10 or something like that. So we're going to go set up. And then the show is Saturday. But at least Saturday morning, we can go grab breakfast, come and just put the finishing touches on it. You know what I mean? That's it. Whereas, because it's
the Texas Latino Comic Con setup is 1 hour before doors open.
Oh,
yes.
So you can't even go the day before.
Setup is 1 hour before doors open, bro. And I was like, wait, hold up, I'm good. But I ain't that good. I was like, yo, so now I've been working all week fine-tuning how I'm going to set up because I can't go big. I can't go big. Bro. I was like, all right, how do I do it in the most effective way? Because it's a 1 day show and it's only 8 hours, right? It's an 8 hour day.
Rough, bro.
Right? So I'm like, how do I knock this out in 8 hours? So I was like, all right, I'm not going to take the gridding. I'm going to take my table risers, and so I'm thinking differently. How do I maximize the time that I have with it that short time?
But this is why it's good to have options.
Yes.
Setups. Because you need to have different setups. You know what I mean? It's important. It's important to be able to be. It's important to be, flexible when it comes to this stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yes. For the next topic, I want to know how to deal with shoplifters. So I haven't had that. I mean, I haven't had that at my events.
On wood.
Maybe because when I'm there, I pull out. I have my Rambo knife that I cut my boxes with.
Always watching, bro. Always be watching.
And I'm
trust no one. Trust no one at these. No, you're a cute little kid. Trust no one, bro.
Oh no, you don't trust anybody. But I haven't had that. I've heard horror stories from other people, but I haven't had it. Knock on wood yet.
Yeah.
You know, but I've seen horror stories. I was watching a video of this guy who did an anime show, and apparently the people that drive those the lifts,
Forklifts, yeah.
the forklifts, knocked down an entire row of tables overnight, right? So they came in the next morning. There's like 20 tables, like everything's just collapsed. Yo,
Well, I thought
that's
that was
horrible.
somebody. I thought that was like a door left open, wind got in.
There
So
was another one.
it-
That was another
was
one.
another-
That was a different one.
Oh,
Yes,
my
because one had proof.
Must
They had
know.
track marks on their stuff, and they had dent inside the thing. The other one was the wind and knocked off. Oh yeah, it was crazy. It's
Damn,
crazy.
bro. Yeah, no, man. I mean, and I posted on that one. I was like, yo, the shows better compensate you guys for something. You know what I mean? For something. But
Yeah,
is the guest in the
yeah.
back room? All
Jerry's
right.
waiting, chomping at the
Do
bits.
it.
He's like, "Let me in, let me in." So let's go to our sponsor,
Yeah.
and then
we
when we
should-
come back, we're gonna be speaking with the founder of E4 Comics. Let's do this. Word. What's up?
Awesome.
What's
There he is.
going on?
Jerry
My
back.
boys, what's going on?
What's good, man? How you been?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Just freaking working my ass off, trying to get this thing going and everything. My personal job, life.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, I was telling the people in the chat and everybody watching, you've been here before. You know, we've done this twice before. And E4 Comics, The Elements, that's the book that we're talking about. Now, I know that the last time you were on the show, a buddy of yours had challenged you and said, hey, make sure you finish your books because indies tend to die out after the third issue, right? And so you were here with the third issue, showing your boy, yo, dude, I'm not doing that. Now you are back, and this is a part two. So explain to us a little bit, and we're going to go into who Jerry is. But I wanted to ask you this because I saw you're on Kickstarter right now, and the book is doing, and it's doing pretty well. It's called The Elements, Dice's Saga Part 2, right? Yep. So I guess my question is, the last time you were here, was that the Dice's Saga Part 1?
Yes.
Okay, so explain that a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, this is where the brothers, after issue 1, when they finally, get in contact with the stones and they've received their elemental powers. Issue 2, Burden of Truth, is basically they get introduced to someone named Kenneth, who's also from space and has been around the stones for many years. Okay. And he's been teaching them about how to use their newfound abilities. And at the end of issue 2, you get to meet someone named Dices, who basically, he's part of an organization called Kronos, who's been searching the cosmos for these stones. Okay. So after issue 1, a few of the henchmen managed to get away. They basically go back to the ship and tell him, yo, Dices, I think we actually found the stones. It seems like we found 4 brothers that have the abilities of these elementals. So he's like, all right, bet. So it's time to go to Earth and see what y'all talking about. So Dice's Saga Part 1, he shows up and he basically introduced himself to the brothers. He's like, all right, let me check these brothers out one-on-one. Let me see what they're about. So if you read issue 3, you see that he fight each individual brother separately. Okay. And then at the end of the series is basically You know, the brothers go at him, they attack him, and they're like, yo, we gotta move this out of the city. So they manage to move the fight out of the city, and Dyson starts laughing, and they're like, what's so funny? And he ends up like stabbing himself.
Oh,
And that's how issue 3 ends. And they're like, wait, what? You know,
and so
so
this is part 2.
so this is part 2 to
Gotcha.
see what happens after he stabs himself.
Now,
You
now
know.
for those watching, I probably confused the crap out of all of you because you're like, who is Jerry and what is E4 Comics? But the reason why I asked that is because the last time you were here, it's number 473, guys. Check that out. Because what we marveled about in that particular episode was your video for your Kickstarter. It was an animation and it was insane. Sam, do you have the new one pulled up?
The new one? What?
His Kickstarter, the campaign.
I just put the link in the chat.
All right. But do you have it pulled up or not? I just want to show everybody the new video so that we can show the video and then we can talk to you about it. Because these videos are insane, Jerry. They are it's like watching a cartoon. And for those watching, you're gonna watch and you're gonna be like, what the heck? Because these videos are insane. And I gotta give you credit, bro. The last time you were here, you were like, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna continue to do these. And dude, you followed through. Now it's about a 3-minute video, but it doesn't feel like it. So for those watching, like, wow, we're about to watch a 3-minute video. No, it's not Jerry talking to us. It's not him telling us jokes.
All lies, lies.
Just
Hold
watch it. Just
Hold
watch
on. Hold on, because you know what happened last time when I did this crap. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so hold on.
Sam went mute. You could not come back.
No, I couldn't come back. It was
all right,
it was
so
horrible. Hold on.
Hopefully it works out.
All right, let's see. We got that going. I gotta get the mic. I gotta take this off. All right, so I'm gonna put everybody else on mute. I'm gonna put you on mute so you don't come in the background. So bong. I'm sorry, Jerry. We're gonna have to kick you out of the show. This is professionals. This
I
isn't for
told
ILM.
you.
This isn't for Lucasfilms and DreamWorks. All right. What is this,
I
man? What are you
told
doing
you.
to us?
I was not lying. You're welcome, everybody. I was not lying, Jerry. You've done it again, dog. Like, what the heck is going? Now, is this the same animator from the last one?
Yes, it is. You know,
I
so
I
I'm
feel like
very
such a
grateful.
rookie, bro.
No, dude,
I feel like an
trust me,
amateur.
it took so much trial and error, and this is why, like, I appreciate Kickstarter because the more we fund, the more of these things we can do. Like I told you guys in the last interview that my goal is to be able to start putting out like mini episodes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and start building like my following on YouTube there. You know, so that's why like Kickstarter and sharing it and getting as much backers as possible is so important. You know, so the animator from the original is the same animator for this. But I'll be honest, one of the things that weren't able to do was if you watch the first animation, I had a soundtrack for it. Like I
You
had
did.
a
You did.
single soundtrack for that. So unfortunately, because everything was kind of cut very close to this
Mhm.
Kickstarter, it was like I didn't have a chance to get my boys to do a soundtrack for this one. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I might just eventually like just get them to do it just to do it because I enjoy their soundtrack just for the hell of it. But
Well, yeah. For those like, so the last time, the last video had a hip hop track to it, and it was people that you knew, right? Brooklyn rappers
mhm,
who had done
yep.
it for you, and that's what you're talking about. You weren't able to get that, but dude, honestly, like, if obviously for those who didn't see the first one, you don't even miss it because of
Mhm,
the music and the music that you already have in there. What amazes me
yeah.
about that video is that the characters aren't speaking. There's none of that. There's no, there's no conversation. It's all just straight up action, but you get
Mhm,
it. And when
mhm.
he grabbed and stabs I was like, what the heck is going, dude? Incredible work, incredible work. So all right,
Like
so
stick figure
let's talk.
animation.
Let's talk a little bit about. So Jerry, how long have you been working on this project?
Like the elements in total, like as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole.
Oh, so I want to say I'm 39 years old right now. I
Okay.
want to say we first originally started creating this at the age of 15, 16 years old.
Wow. And so
Yeah,
these
like
and these four characters are friends of yours. These are real life
yes.
people that you know. There's four friends. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that, like your boys and how this thing came about.
So to get a little personal in my life, basically at the age of 13, I was adopted.
Mhm.
So Sky, aka Matthew, he's my adopted brother,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Basically my best friend Hassan, who's Hydro, he introduced me to Matthew, who eventually took me in because I was going through my hard times as a kid.
Sure.
So that's basically how us three met. And then eventually our friend Corey ends up getting into the mix a few couple of like I want to say about a year or two down the line where
Mhm.
he basically moved into the neighborhood. You know, so
Okay.
ever since then, we just all grew up together. It was always us four. We always watch each other's back and everything. And growing up, one of the things that I used to do, I used to write stories. I used to write short stories for school. Used to write poetry. Used to do things like that. So we were always into like Marvel, DC, Batman, Superman, X-Men. We were into all that. But what really changed our lives was that 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning one day, getting ready for school. And I was like, yeah, I'm up way too early. I wonder what's on the TV. Clicked open that TV, and that was the first time I was introduced to anime, which was Dragon Ball Z.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and I was just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
So, so I told my boys about it. They ended up flicking the TV on the next day, watching it. And ever since then, we kind of just been like very hooked on anime. Me mostly, but we all kind of like, we
Yeah.
finished watching Dragon Ball Z. We really got into it and everything. And then it was just like, yo, let's write a story about us. Let's create a story about us. And I was like, yo, I love the elements. Like, let's use the elements. And it was like me, I always enjoyed fire. That's why if you ask me what my number one Marvel character is always going to be the Human Torch. Like,
Right.
I grew up loving the Human Torch. Second place is Gambit.
Okay.
So if you watching X-Men 97, you already know I'm cursing the hell out of that show, but we're not going to get into that. So basically after that, you know, it was like friend Corey, he's very cocky, he's very fast, so it was only right that he chose the lightning element. Hassan was like the intelligent one. We always went to him for his wisdom, so it just sounded right for him to be Hydro, and that was his favorite element anyway. And then Sky, you know, my brother, basically, he was. What I like about Sky the most is because most people will look at Pyro and be like, "Oh, Pyro's the hothead. Oh, Pyro's the guy that really, you know, is the troublemaker." And it's kind of like, you wouldn't believe it if I told you that Sky is that person. As funny and as toony as he is, but when he, you know, like when he's pissed off, he goes off just like a tornado. Like when it's formed, it's gonna destroy everything.
Right.
You know, so it just fit in perfectly. And from those years, we just been putting ideas together. Like we watched so many different animes and everything, and it was kind of like putting things together. Like this is what we like about this. This is what we don't like about that. You know, and we was just putting that together as I was creating the storyline. So as they told me what they wanted to see, it was my job to basically mold and put that story together to what we have today.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Dude, that's a great story, man. I didn't know that part of the story from the last time we've had you on the show. So I'm glad thank you for sharing that, man. That was awesome, dude. That was awesome. And so then you have this story, you're putting it together. How did you find your artist?
Woo, that was a pain in the butt on its own because that was basically like our biggest issue is that none of us are real artists. Like Corey, he can draw. He's pretty good at drawing, but only specific stuff. Even Matthew is also pretty good at drawing, but only specific stuff. But the original person that I would have liked to have, you know, picked up the mantle of being an artist, he was busy doing other things. He's actually one of the rappers on the first animation, but he was busy doing other things. So when I went to meet up groups of people from online, like there are people that go online and talk in chat rooms that meet up in restaurants, hotels. You would have thought it was like a con, but it's not. It's like people just meeting up to show off their action figures, to show off their old comics, you know, just like a con, but without the name of con, you know. So I went through those things. I started joining a bunch of Facebook groups. And during one of the Facebook groups, I found a guy named Brian. He was the initial artist that basically created issue 0 of the Elements. And before that, we had a friend named Dennis who was also pretty good at drawing. He was the one that basically sparked the whole creation of the Elements because he was like, "Yo, I can draw your characters." So he was the original artist. He's like the what do you call it? The like the construct artist. You know, like he was the one that originated all the characters. And because we wanted like an anime style, that's when I found this guy named Brian who took Dennis's art, turned it into like an anime style, and then we created issue 0. So issue 0 is an issue that's no longer available because we originally created it just to kind of get people's attention. So there was like it wasn't like the beginning of the story. You know, eventually the story will lead to issue 0. So we will get back to where issue 0, you know, left off. But we created that. And then from there, we decided to go, all right, let's go to issue 1, which is The Awakening, issue 2, Burden of Truth. Now we have issue 3, Dyson Saga Part 1, and on Kickstarter now, Dyson Saga Part 2.
Nice, dude. Nice. So this issue 0, you mentioned that it's not available anymore. So will it ever become available? Are you guys ever going to make it available? I know that this is an ongoing series for now, but eventually it'll get back. Are you planning to do that?
So, no, I mean, no, we don't plan on printing it ever again. It was released on our first Kickstarter.
Wow.
So, yeah, like, you know, so basically it's kind of like, I want to say we got a handful of them left somewhere, but that's like just about it and everything. And it's just like because we know the storyline is eventually going to go back to that, and there's obviously going to be some differences to when we finally get back to that part.
That's amazing, man. I know you mentioned the last time you were on that you had just gotten together with an editor. You hadn't been using an editor. You finally found one. How's that working out? How's being edited working out for you? Are you still enjoying it? Are you still loving her? Or are you like, I'm getting ready to just stop?
Oh no, I absolutely love her. She's literally like one of the crews. Like she goes with us when we go to the con. You know, my friend Chris Saloff
Yes,
from Homebrew Comics.
absolutely.
You know, I just went to a con with him last month, him and Dennis from Slate Comics, and she's always there with us. She's part of the crew, you know, and she helps sell the book. So I love her because, like I said, she grounds me. Because one of the bad habits that I have is when my brain is like firing, when all these ideas are going, I'm just writing. I don't realize how crazy my writing is until I send it to her. She's like, "Yeah, we gonna have to fix some things," and I'm like, "Damn, my bad." You know, I didn't realize it was that crazy, but I appreciate you. Like, you're the best thing that's ever happened. You know, so she definitely helps ground me and help me put things into order.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So what are the plans for the story though? Are you still planning? Like, I know that you had talked about being an ongoing series. Do you see an end, the number of issues that you're working on?
Dude, honestly, no, because after the Dice Saga, because there's going to be a third and final Dice Saga. So that's when the Dice Saga ends. That's kind of, after that is where the story will really, really start to open up. And we really start to make way towards issue 0. So, and issue 0 was just, you know, like, I want to say kind of like if you want to like explore like Dragon Ball Z. So let's say Dices is kind of like the Raditz. You know, the Raditz coming in, that was Goku's first biggest challenge with Piccolo. That's kind of what Dices is for these guys. Because there's a lot more people ahead of, you know, that's waiting for them, you know, further down the line. And there's a lot more characters that we're ready to introduce, you know. So part of that is the reason why we created the spinoff. So there's a spinoff of the Elements called the Cleanest Story. And it's about the hooded man in the Elements that are teaching the brothers about their abilities. It's his story prior to meeting up with the brothers. And it will explain to people why in the Elements with the brothers, he looks like a hooded man. But in the Cleanest Story, he looks like a human. He's not human. He's from another planet, but why he looks like that. So it dives into his story. So we kind of got like 2 series going side by side right now.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, no, this looks like it's you know, it's doing pretty well, man. You're close to being funded.
I mean, got 2 extra backers tonight so far.
Oh, you got 2 backers tonight. That's awesome, dude. I mean, the story looks incredible, dude. Are you is it the same artist? Are you still using the same artist? Okay.
So the thing that I want to do now is I'm considering finding a second artist. I guess it's kind of like depending how well we do on this Kickstarter and everything, because I would like for someone to be working on the Elements, and I would like for someone to be working on the Cleanest Story.
Sure, yeah.
So that way, it's not one artist going on one book, then we gotta wait for the next book to be finished, then to jump back into the next. Like it takes too long, you know. So
how long does it take to produce these shorts that you do? The animations. These things are.
I mean, yeah, it takes maybe I want to say 2-3 months.
Yeah.
You know, I really lucked out with this guy because I've been working with him long before he got into animation. Right. So when he got into animation, I was one of the first people he contacted. Was like, "Yo, I'm doing animation. You know, you've been with me for a long time. I'll give you a good deal. Just let me know what you need." And I was like, "Bet," because I had paid for animation before, and I think we discussed this the first or second time I was here, and it was like I paid a huge amount of money for like 2.5 minutes. And when I tell you guys, it was nothing compared to what you guys just saw. It was trash. And I believe it. And I'm paying like half of that. And I've gotten such better quality.
Oh, it's amazing.
In this dude, you know, so unfortunately, when you're in this kind of business, you gotta take the L's. You learn from your losses and you move on. You know, unfortunately, things like that happen. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So
dude, that's amazing, man. So what are you doing another show soon? What's your next show? What's going on with the
it's funny because I was listening to you guys talking about these shows you guys do. I'm cracking up in the background because I'm thinking the same thing you guys are thinking. And when I go to these conventions and I go with like Dennis and I go with Chris, I feel like my area is kind of small. I don't really do prints like that.
Mhm.
Even though I should, and I'm like asking them like, you guys think I should do prints? And they're like, yeah, if you got prints, just bring them and stuff. And I'm kind of like, is it a waste of time? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know how I'm supposed to finagle all these things. I just like, I know I got the books. That's the most important thing. I got a little laptop in front that shows the animation. So people walking by, hopefully get caught like, oh, what's that? And then watch the animation.
The
And I can jump
animation,
to the
dude.
story.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, so that's
The
normally how I
animation
have
is
my
key.
setup.
Yeah.
So
Jerry's cautionary tale about animators goes back to what you guys were talking about, fostering relationships. Yeah, fostering those relationships, because you never know. You know what I mean? You're working with somebody. I've been working you with like that networking, right? I've been working with you for a long time. I'll give you a good deal. Let's work. You know, and
exactly.
that's what it's about. Yeah, good point, Hugo. But yeah, no, dude, I think the animation, man. If you have that just on loop on your table, you probably don't need anything else but that and a book next to it, and and you're good to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's funny. It's like all about this, the like your self pitch and everything. Like when I'm with Chris, and he's just like, people walk by, like, hey, you like D&D? And then like, yeah, I like D&D, and then like he just wills them in, you know. And it's just like, what the hell? So for me, it's kind of like, yo, you ever watch the Avatar: The Last Airbender? I was like, yeah. So you into animation? So come here, you know. And I bring him in. I'm like, watch this animation real quick. And they're like, that's a great animation. I'm like, yo, with your support, we can slowly start creating new episodes and this and that. Like, you know,
you'd be surprised that people want to get involved. Like people sometimes want to get involved, but they want to be on the ground floor to say, yo, I was at a convention, I met Jerry, and now look where he's at. You know what I mean?
Have you ever considered doing a crowdfunder to produce an episode or pilot episode?
Yes, I have, but I guess it's kind of like, my mindset is kind of like, you know, how well am I doing with the comics to see how far I would be able to produce, you know, a Kickstarter for an animation. Because it will obviously be like a lot more money than what I'm asking for, you know, for these comics. Because basically when I fund these Kickstarter, it basically helps me like pay the artists, you know, pay for some of the animations, but still a few of these things still come out of my pocket. You know, at the end of the day, I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it.
Right.
You know, just like you mentioned, going to these cons, I'm not really making no money. Especially like the last one I was with Chris and Dennis, I went to North Carolina. So that means I got paid plane ticket, I got to rent a hotel, rent a car, you know, feed myself, do all these things. But one of these moments, like one of these two great moments that happened when we were at that con, that made it like all worth it. One of those moments is when someone comes to your table and they're like, when's the next issue? And you're like, who are you? And they're like, yo, I've been following this from the beginning. And I'm like,
wow. He's got issue 0. He's got issue 0.
You already know. It's like, and I'm like, wait, you've been following me? And they're like, yeah, man, I love the elements. And it's just like, wow. You know, like it's touching. It's like, I can't believe that. It was like, yeah, we saw that you was gonna be here, so we came to see you. And it was happening with both me, Chris, and Dennis. And it was like, holy crap. And then you got those people that are like, they come there looking for new things and they're willing to spend money. And there was one guy, we call this like the SSB cell. He basically went to Chris. Chris is like, hey, you went to D&D? And the guy was like, no, I've never really played it. And Chris was like, oh, okay, well, you know, this is what my comic book's about. Like me and Chris had the same idea. We was like, all right, this guy's not really going to purchase his book or whatever. So he passed them on to me because we're very good at working the table together, you know, because we've been to a few times. And it's like, you into anime? He's like, yeah, I'm into anime. And I'm like, yeah, I'm, you know, giving him my spiel. And then Dennis is next to me. And I was like, oh, dude, are you into like Cape Rescue? You know, Tom, he goes, yeah, I'm into that. He's like, well, this is Celestial Night. And we're talking. And he's like, yeah. Then he comes back to me. He starts talking to me more. And I'm like, all right, so I got this sale. So he's like, all right, so I'll take all of them. And I was like, oh, great. So you take all of my issues? He goes, no, I want all of them. I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? He's like, no, I want all his issues, all your issues, and all his issues. And I'm like, what? Like, all three of us are looking at each other like, what? Okay. You know, and we like getting the books together and everything. And we gave it to him, and he's just like, yo, I love coming to these conventions. I love any comics and everything, and these books are great. So and he supported all of us. And it
That's
was
awesome.
like, we had like 3 sales like that. And it was just like,
Wow.
that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
That
That's
someone's willing to
great.
do something like that, you know?
That's a great story, dude. Because the reality is, and then I've heard of people like they walk around floors sometimes, they walk around conventions with money in their pocket, willing to spend, but they're waiting for somebody to actually say something to them and say, hey, you want to check this out? Because if they don't hear that, they'll just keep walking. But they have the money to spend, they want to spend it, but they're just waiting for those people to actually engage them in conversation, talk to them about their product, see the passion that you are talking about the product with. So yeah, no, that's a great story, dude. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, man.
I feel like Chris broke it down the best way. He's like, Fridays, people go to these conventions to meet their stars. You know, they mainly go there to meet the special guests that they have there. That's what Friday's mainly about. So Friday is not really a good sale day. Saturday, they're doing the same thing, but more now. Less people are doing that, but more people looking to really purchase, you know, go walk around, see what they really want to buy. And then Sunday is when people come and they're like, I'm ready to buy everything. Like, let's go. Like, this is the money I got left over. I'm ready to buy. And it's like, once you said that to me, I was like, oh, that's really how it's happening right now. Like, that's really how it breaks down.
That's
So-
insane, man. But yeah, listen, Jerry, thank you again for coming on, man, and talking to us about the project. You know, blessing us with another incredible freaking short.
Make me want to go back and work harder.
Yeah, it's ready to go freaking
Thanks.
practice animation. But yeah, dude. So let us know when you want to come back. For those who are watching, if you haven't done so yet, check out the Kickstarter. The link is in the chat. Support. He's almost at the funding goal, man. Your goal was 2,500. You're at 2,125 right now.
Yeah.
So we're
Nice.
getting close. We're getting close.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely.
dude. Doors always open, man. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate you guys. You guys, as soon as I was launching this Kickstarter, I was like, yep, I'm reaching out to my boys. I definitely got to pop on this show. I love talking to these fellas, so I'm always going to reach out to you guys. I appreciate you guys for always having me on. So
No
thank
Awesome,
you.
brother.
No doubt, man. All right, my brother. Be good. All right. We'll talk
Peace.
soon.
You too. All right, man.
man.
Says what? I don't think my animated sequences will get the same response. Yo, that animation. And what's up? William Russell?
What
yeah,
up?
I'm gonna see Will in a couple of weeks at the Bell County. He's in the Artist Alley pit. I'm in the entrance. But nah, that was that animation, bro. That animation. After watching that video,
Johnny.
it's over. I'm supporting everything. I know it's
insane. It's insane.
it's beautiful. I mean, I loved it. It reminded me of Dragon Ball Z. You know,
Definitely have to feel.
I was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z when back in the days. That was one of the request duty as Goku that I just recently did. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm really happy for him. I mean, the guy. I mean, the passion, the drive, even the lessons learned. Still stays focused, right? The way he framed it. You got to take an L sometimes, right? And that's the reality of this game. You live, you learn, you grow, you move on.
And I like that he found, I'm going to use the word his tribe, right? Like Chris and the people that support him. You know what I mean? He surrounded himself with people who actually support each other, because telling that story about the person who wouldn't buy the other book, but he passed them along to him and say, hey, maybe check him out. And they just help each other out rather than, oh, well, he's not going to buy from me. I'm not even going to talk about the guy standing next to me. And they're there together. So yeah, no, that's great, man. That's great. And Jerry's got a positive energy about him. You know what I mean? He's a positive dude and he's doing great things. So big shout out to Jerry.
And I think that's 9 parts of the ingredients, right? It's the drive. It's the drive, because if without that, I mean, the harsh reality of the game. I mean, look at how they even put it in perspective, right? You took 2 challenging days, Fridays and Saturdays, right? Friday, it's going to be difficult because they're there to see the people on the list. Saturday, they're still working that list and making sure they got everything they went there for. Sunday, they got that extra money. And now, right? It's one of those things that you have to psychologically prepare yourself for, because no 2 conventions are the same. Some conventions you can have a really stellar Friday and a poor Saturday, and vice versa, right? So I think you got to take every event for what it is and learn from the event and try to capitalize. But like I said, tabling at events, it's an opportunity to work on your pitch. Yeah. It's an opportunity to build your network.
It's funny because sometimes I find like the pitch that worked on Friday may not work on Saturday.
Yeah.
The pitch that worked on Saturday may not work on Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
so you constantly have to be willing to adapt and change with the days
Yeah.
of the con, because you really don't know, who's gonna say yes to the pitch that you just gave them.
It's reading the room. It's reading the room, right? It's
a lot of that.
understanding
There's a
who's
lot
coming
of
to
that.
your table and when. Because it's funny because you're gonna have the cats, right, that come to your table, and no matter what you say, you're just not getting a response.
Mhm,
Hey, how's it
mhm.
going? No response.
Nope.
Oh, it's first time here? No response. Into slapstick humor? No response. You're like, oh damn. It's either this person's the next Charles Manson, or you don't know what's going on, right? Because you're not getting a response. So you stay focused, you stay positive, you show
Yeah, you let that go.
even though it's uncomfortable. You're like,
Yeah.
dang, this is odd. What do I do with this? Right?
Right.
That person can be the one that wants to, you know what? I want all of this, right? Because that person is probably the type of person that just needs to be left alone. Hey, my name is Sam. This is my work. If you have any questions, I'm here. And they'll be like, all right. And now they know you gave them the space, right? So it all depends. You got to read everybody differently. What's up?
He was
Aurora?
in the
Yours,
house. What up,
Aquarius?
Anibal? Casey, that's interesting what he just wrote. I worked about 8 versions of my elevator pitch at the con. To say he's a bouncer instead of a vigilante kept their attention. So just changing that word made a difference. Like that's how, you know what I mean? Like that's how this thing is, man. That's how this. It's funny because like especially in Texas, I find that if you're in Dallas or if you're in San Antonio, for example, where we were, those are very big sports towns.
Yep.
And a lot of folks walk
And
around
military.
supporting their team.
Yeah.
So like, remember that guy who came to the show and was like decked out in San Antonio Spurs gear, the basketball team. And so I sparked up a conversation. I'm a huge basketball fan. We were talking about when Biana, their rookie and all this other stuff. He ended up buying a book, but he ended up buying a commission because he wanted to see Duty. Yeah, he wanted to see Duty
in the Spurs,
in a Spurs outfit, in a Spurs uniform. So it's like, again, like you said, reading the room. What are people wearing? What are they interested in? What are you seeing?
Yeah,
you have
I remember the one pitch with the kid. I said, hey, Duty's gonna be bigger than Captain Underpants. He says, no, he isn't. You suck, whatever. And he didn't buy it, right? So then the next kid, I was like, hey, with your help, we can make Duty just as popular as Captain Underpants.
Right.
He busted his mom's chops until she bought it.
Because
he's like, Mom, come on, let's do it. Right? He was excited because he felt like he was involved. He can help make something become something, right? And so it was just changing the phrase, the pitch, made a difference. So it's like you have to constantly test and try.
Yeah, no, big time, man. And listen, I wanted to give a big shout out to the sponsor tonight. L.A. Cunningham and her book, Sister Grimm. That's also on Kickstarter. So if you guys type in Sister Grimm on Kickstarter or go to the show notes, the sponsor will be in the show notes as well. Just check it out. Check out the Kickstarter. She's almost funded as well, and that's a very, very interesting book. But yeah, dude, that great show. Jerry was amazing as usual. The topic I thought was great. Everybody involved in the chat, thank you guys for always supporting and always being here and checking us out. But yeah, Sammy, I think
hold on.
What are you doing?
I'm putting the link in the chat. I've got to find it.
Back in our day of back in our heydays. Huh? Bro, that picture of us on the first convention, dude.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was the Big Apple Comic Con in New York City, circa 2003. So about 21 years ago.
So you guys want to see there's the link. Yo, look at those two guys.
This kid, bro.
These guys were straight off the boat.
Yo, what's holding up my head? A pencil? What the hell is that?
I don't know. You got the skinny neck and this noggin.
What is that, dog? Yo, and you know what? Robert wasn't there because Wizzy was already down with us.
Yes.
Oh, look, Street Journal's up there. So Johnny was down with us too.
Yeah, Street Journal, Cosmic Wars, Catch the Craze.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, let's see. On the table we had trading cards.
Look at Catch the Craze.
We had the Catch the Craze magazine.
Yeah, the magazine. Yeah.
Damn. That was crazy.
Was Keyless there?
No, Keyless wasn't there. No,
he was. He might have already been roaming around. I think I was there, but I didn't see you guys. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because those were like every month, bro. Like those
Yeah.
those conventions were just about every month or every
It
3
was
months.
it was 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was every quarter. He did it every quarter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every quarter, man. Every quarter, yeah.
Shout out to Michael
Unbelievable.
Carbonero, man. You gave us our first shot. You broke us into the game.
Michael
You know,
Carbonero.
he gave these youngins an opportunity to go out there and I mean, he gave us a free table for years, bro.
Yeah, it was free.
For years,
Free
bro.
table.
Yeah, that's right. All you guys that are paying $7 at the Big Apple, Michael Carbonero hooked these guys up. Yeah, it was we were
good,
down.
man. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was
But
awesome.
yeah, brother. Anyway,
Yeah.
I gotta get to bed, Sam. I'm an old man.
Lie, man. Let me see. Who do we got on next week? Calendly.
Yeah, tell me who we got next week. That's a good one. Are we even on next week? Because I know
What?
you're traveling around. the
Next week
country.
we're on. The week after, no. Got it.
Oh, okay. All right, so there you
Let's see. Next week is the 23rd.
go. 23rd.
We have Michael Odin.
Okay.
Yes, he'll
Michael
be.
Odin.
I don't know what he's promoting because he didn't leave me anything. The Embrace. So Michael Odin is promoting the Embrace. Me, August 27th.
August
So the
27th.
27th is the one that we have to change.
Oh no.
Mario. No, they don't got nobody on the 27th.
August 27th.
Tuesday to August 27th. Oh yeah.
August
So
27th.
Tuesday the 30th, Mario Ruiz. If you're listening to us, Mario, we got to reschedule you because
Oh,
I will be traveling that week.
all right.
Wow, I'm a distinguished artist and writer, career spanning over 30 years of expertise in advertising, retail, and gaming. Marvel Comics,
Man, that would have been a good one.
20th Century Fox,
I'm
Major
scared.
League Baseball. What?
Yeah,
All right, yeah.
Cancel your trip, bro.
That's too much.
Cancel your trip. We need this kind of show. What are we doing? What are we doing over
this
here?
kind of show. It ain't my fault. What do you want to do? We can move him. We can move him to the end of the week. Because I'll be back on Thursday or Friday. Yeah, Thursday. So we could do it Thursday. Because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm traveling.
All right.
But yes,
All right.
I'll reach out. I'll reach out to you and we'll make that happen. But again, if you are in Texas, come down and see me. I'll be at the Texas Latino Comic Con. I will be in the gallery room, table number 21. And I will be having this combo pack, which is a 5x7 print of Duty as Chapulín and a 4-inch sticker, as well as the Puerto Rico cover for Disneyland Matola issue number 1, exclusive to this event. So come and see me this weekend. And George is going to be where?
I will be at Plastic City Comic Con in Leominster, Massachusetts, table 36. Come check me out. I will have. Don't do me like that. Can we put that back up?
What, you can't read?
No, there's so much work. Come on. Rush 5377 Wonder Duck will be there. What the freak? Admission is $10 and kids 12 are under. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here.
Don't stop believing.
Why are we taking these things down so fast? Anyway, now I will be at Plastic City Comic Con. Check me out. It's going to be a good time. It's a one-day show, July 20th. Come on down. And,
it's a cruel summer.
Check it out. Check it out. And he was about to be traveling.
He's on his 80s kick right now. He's traveling. Where's he going?
Oh yeah, no. Hey, I can't disclose his traveling locations, but I'm gonna be looking for him, dog. It's a crazy world we live in now.
Aquí yo quiero trago.
Oh snap! Oh,
that's what friends are for good times and bad times.
No, I'm out.
I'll be on your
See what you guys are doing? See what you're doing?
forevermore.
This kid can't even hit the high notes anymore. It's like Menudo. His voice is changing.
Yolo bueno. Remember, gotta catch the plane at 7:30. That's Menudo. Why haven't
I remember
you say goodbye?
I remember the Spanish.
Remember, if you're not here,
I did not speak
by
English
my side.
No, I spoke Spanish.
Can't hold
at
back
the time.
the tears.
I hadn't learned English
tried
yet.
to hide.
No,
Menudo, bro. That was one of the songs.
Anyway, it's been a good time. We'll be back next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like,
hit that like button.
Sammy's got there you go. Sammy's got another YouTube channel called The Art of Samuel.
That's right, man.
That out. I have a channel called Get Your Meds on YouTube. So check that out. Subscribe to those.
Yeah,
and yes, Sammy.
Yeah, man. When we grow, the independent community grows. You know the speech. We're the longest. We're the first. We're the OGs. We're the first independent comic book podcast out there. Right? There's Catch the Craze, and then there's everybody else. So when we grow, the community grows. So we thank you all for your support. Thank you for coming out this week. We'll see you next week. And with that said, I'm Sam, the crazy man, Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
He described me. He said, I'm the. What?
Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.